This is the old desk that we have, and as you can see, it has seen better days. But don't worry, we'll strip off the old varnish, give it a new coat, we'll strip off the old paint, give that a new coat as well, and hopefully it will be not necessarily as good as new, but ready for a new life with two little chimpanzees. So what seems to be the issue, Nina?
A few screws.
Being a bit stubborn.
Those.
Oh, the screws, not you. Why don't we finish taking off the backing screws first, and then we can take the tablets off completely. Yes.
Yeah, that's it.
Hey! Ooh,
wow.
That's nice. Yeah, I think we might have to change the hinge because it's really rusty. I mean, it still works. WD-40. Bit of grease. Might change it. Yay! Is that the last one?
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
Literally le puits à encre, the ink well. Well, something's coming out.
So there are two parts.
Looks like
The
it,
top
yeah.
and the bottom.
Which is why we couldn't get it out by forcing it. It's a clever system.
All right.
Yay! Wow.
Yum yum.
It's really stubborn. Most of these are actually quite rusty, so I think we'll be changing a lot of the screws. Yeah, we need to replace these screws,
Okay.
most definitely. There you go. As you can see, back to the bare metal frame. But yeah, lots of work on that one. Lots of work. Although I think we're going to have some fun because we have some fun tools to play with. So Nina, you're on wood duty. I'm doing the metal parts. Fun stuff. Yeah, she's happy. She gets to use big tools.
It's good varnish.
It's good varnish.
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
Because the grit is not doing a lot. Là, franchement, ça va prendre une vie. Hein.
Do you want to try the grinder with special sanding wing thingy jig? Okay, let's do that. We decided not to use the grinder, we're going to be using a drill instead with a special attachment, and that should give us more strength and go faster, but the only issue is that we do have to be careful about not doing it too hard. Otherwise it just bites into the material and yeah, leaves really bad marks. Slap it on. Okay, that is so much faster. But yeah, have to be careful not to bite in too much of the material. Yeah, I'm suddenly really glad that we're taking these off because we debated whether or not to keep these because these are probably factory finish. That's probably the factory original. But yeah, glad we're taking them off. We'll be replacing them. It's actually a good idea. Might try and find some heat shrink to go around it, white instead of green. Although it's nice green. Anyhow.
So it wasn't working that well to protect against the rust.
Well, probably against just being hit and bashed, which is a good idea, but apart from that. She's having fun, so yeah, keep her busy for a few hours. Now while Nina has fun with her tool, I've actually got my own tool to play with, which is an angle grinder and a special bit which is made to take off paint. This is my tool, this is the special sanding pad which I was talking to you about, and it goes onto the angle grinder. Let's have a look how it works. Oh wow, Nina, watch this. Yep, that's gonna be so satisfying. I'm actually really loving the finish that it's giving us.
Yeah, but you can't leave it like that.
I know.
But it is nice.
Yeah, I'm happy. Very happy. Okay, Nina, give us an update. How's it going?
Good.
Good. That's the original varnish, and
Well,
that's the
this
final
is,
result.
yeah. This is just the bottom, so it wasn't varnish. The top was varnish already.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah. Can feel the grind.
So yeah, happy with the tools?
Yeah.
Good. This is working so smoothly, it's insane. I love it. You can see the welds pop out here for different colour. I love the result. I wish we could just keep it like this, but obviously if we don't paint it, it's going to rust. So yeah.
On a démonté le bureau avec maman et papa. Et là, papa, il m'a montré comme il y avait de la rouille et qu'il enlevait la peinture en même temps que la rouille.
Yeah? Are you excited to be able to use it?
Oui,
Are you saying that because we told you to say it?
oui.
This is the best way that Nina's found to do the edges. Indeed, that's a bit of a tricky part. Yeah. Overall, it's going well. Quite happy with the result so far. The sanding material, at least. That is going fabulously, though I'm going to have to improvise for the corners, I think. That's going to be a tough one, especially in the middle there. Yeah, we'll see. We'll figure it out. One thing at a time. It does mean we're not going to be able to do in between the lats. That's annoying you, eh? It's annoying me too. Okay, well, we could afterwards pop out the nails, and then when we're ready to put it back together, use screws instead, because the hole's already there. Wouldn't be too hard. So we do that. I'm using up the leftover pads from Nina's sanding to be able to get in here. These are actually quite nice because they are supple enough that I can get in here quite well. I don't need to take everything off, I just make sure that what I can get off is taken off and that we're leaving a rough surface for the paint to come on. And as you can see, this is already coming off quite nicely. Can you see that? Yeah, more or less. Treasure, do you want to try? Yeah? Here, do you want to grab that? You can sand, here you see these little marks are down here. Do you want to sand that? You sand that? Thank you, Jen.
I killed a mosquito.
You killed a mosquito?
Yeah.
There are so many mosquitoes here today.
Look at the blood. I mean,
Yummy!
really? Really?
Someone's blood is in this desk now forever. Isn't that fun? So when I gave this the first coat of paint, we actually had a small camera issue, so I didn't get that whole coat on camera. But that's okay, we'll give it a second coat now and let it dry in time for maybe a third coat by the end of the day. After that, we'll give it a quick rub down with some wet and dry sandpaper, very high grit, just to smooth out any irregularities, and we'll see about giving it a clay coat just to protect it even further once that's done. Today, however, it's all about going to be sanding the wood, getting it nice and flat, and getting those finishes ready for the first coat of varnish. So yesterday Nina did a lot of sanding and got all the main pieces done. Today I'm going to go over it with the orbital sander and make sure that all those surfaces are nice and flat, or at least as flat as I can get them before we go ahead and give it all a coat of varnish. Not sure how much you can see on camera, but we can definitely see where that rotary attachment here has scraped off a lot of material and left these nice little gouges, not really gouges, just sandpaper marks all across. I'll try and get you a closer look to have a look at that. I'll be starting off with this somewhat aggressive 60 grit sandpaper. So just as an example, I did 1/2 of this piece and you can see it's already looking really nice. And this is where I stopped. Some of those scratches there versus this area here, which is now silky smooth. And that's just from the 60 grit. So yeah, very happy about that. I'll finish up this front panel, move up grits, get my wife to check, just make sure she's happy with the final result, of course, and move on. As you can see, this is not going even with 80 grit sandpaper. Clearly the ink is quite deep inside the grain of the wood, and I can't really get to that nicely, let's say, with a tool, so I'm having to do it by hand. I quite like the idea of having it pristine on the outside, and when you open it up, we discover inside the passage of time that has marked it. I actually quite like that. So sure, there are scribblings, writings, lots of ink, as you can see, but I think that's fine. With the main body of the desk now done, we can start working on the 2 top planks, or the work surfaces. Now the last bit I need to do is the bench portion, and the bench portion is a bit really awkward because it's actually nailed in here, and it's really solid. It's a gorgeous piece, and it pains me to take it to pieces. It's a whole extra thing. Let's get moving. Well, it's working. It's definitely working. Well, there we go. Not as bad as I thought it might be, but it works. Okay, I have never had such an issue getting nails out of wood. This would have been impossible any other way. Well, it's not a proper project if you don't leave a bit of skin in it, so luckily I am vaccinated against tetanus. Make sure you're vaccinated, guys. Whatever, anyhow, that hurt, but at least I got this done. So, as you could see, this piece did get dented, but it's all I have to do. It's on the underside of the desk anyway, so at least now we can get to these different pieces of the bench and make sure that they are all clean and ready to be varnished up again. Now, for my next trick, I have this fun tool, which is a belt sander, and the way I'm going to use it is in a very unorthodox and possibly dangerous way, so don't do this at home. Whoa, whew, that made short work of that. Now all I have to do now is take care of the edges, and yeah, should be good to go. Now something tells me this belt has reached the end of its life. I'm not entirely sure what it might be. Could be the fact that it's coming undone. Could be the fact it's now much, much thinner than it should be. But yeah, thank you. Thank you, old belt, especially because this was the only one I had currently on hand, so yay. As the sun is setting, we are going to be rushing to get this varnished after what feels like a very long afternoon sanding. I'm using V33, it's a special varnish for bathrooms and kitchens, and I'm hoping this will last the elements or resist the elements which are the wind, fires and mayhem that are 2 young kids. Yeah, it worked on the previous project and I quite like this stuff. It seems to be really quite durable and resistant, so hopefully that will work here as well. Obviously I'll be doing several coats of varnish. and I'll make sure to sand very, very lightly between each coat, removing any pop-ups from the grain, removing any inconsistencies in the varnishing or in the brush strokes, and hopefully giving myself the best finish possible whilst always protecting the wood as well with several coats. Everything's dried overnight and the pieces are looking and feeling fabulous. Now the first coat of varnish has made the top grain pop slightly, but that's fine, that's normal, that's to be expected. We'll sand it down very slightly with 240 grit sandpaper and get it ready for the second coat. Maybe a third coat within the day if I'm lucky. Hopefully 3 should be sufficient. It should be ready by then. Okay, so it's been a couple of days and the varnish has had time to properly cure and I'm very pleased with the result. But as you can see, there were lots of stains inside and we don't really think we can get rid of those easily. So instead, we're just going to paint over them and hopefully get a very nice finish with a fun little colour inside. So yeah, let's get going. So we're using Deluxe Valentine in satin blue. So it's a nice cream coloured blue, so that should be a nice soft coloured blue. I'll make sure I try and spread it out as thin as possible. I think that's going to be the most important thing to do. Let's start with the edges. Okay, well this is interesting. It appears that one of the old ink spots is leaking through the paint. It's properly mixing with the paint. It's now become wet again. No idea. Interesting. It might just have to be a feature I have to live with. I am loving the colour. It's looking really good. So we went out and got a bunch of new screws for the whole project. So theoretically we've got this for the hinge. We've got these ones for the back of the chair. And we tried to get brass coloured because it just looks better. And we also got a new hinge. As you can see, this nice bright brass coloured hinge versus the old one. Have to cut the slot here at the right dimension. That's the only thing, as there is a small slot, and that slot is where the two desks separate, so that slot will have to be cut into the new one. I'm going to be using these screws, which are 4mm by 40, so they're a bit thicker than I'd want, but at least they go through the wood properly and bite into the wood below. I do have to be very careful I don't drill too far, because otherwise I'm just going to drill through these and that would be a real shame. A wise man would probably clamp this thing down. A wise man might. Okay, well that's a new one for me. Luckily, I did have a 4mm drill bit left in my box, so I was able to use that, and I've done the same thing with masking tape, so let's try again. I've already got one done. Let's go ahead and do a second hole. This time I'm taking it easy, taking it slowly, not pressing down, letting the drill bit do the work. And we're good to go. That gets very, very hot. Take it easy. I should feel it bite round about now because I haven't drilled too far down into the wood. Yes, I can feel it bite now, so that's perfect. Just taking it easy, not too fast. And that's now giving me lots of... there we go, that's nice and tough, and that shouldn't move. Okay, all done. It's far from perfect, but I'm happy enough with the result. Overall, it will definitely do the job, as you can see. Bench is now looking good. So Jeanne, you can do, no, not the outside. Okay. I'll put some paint down here, and what you do is you do the bottom, you do it like this. Okay. Gently, okay? You spread the paint. Okay, you ready? Here, lots of paint, all for you. Go, 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 go. Okay there, Jeanne?
Papa, tu peux me remettre un tout petit peu?
Yeah, do you want more paint?
On va voir un tout petit peu.
Bit more, keep spreading.
Trop là. Yeah.
You have to keep spreading it.
Je peux?
Il faut vraiment que tu...
Mummy's going to show you.
Comme ça, d'accord?
Voilà.
Careful your jumper. There we go. There we go, that's the second coat done, and overall I am very pleased with the result. As you can see, Jeanne helped me out a bit, didn't you, Jeanne? Yeah. I can let this dry and we'll be back for the next step, probably next weekend, because we tend to do this over the weekend. I've got these little rubber feet that I'm going to be putting on the feet of the desk. So the bench is going to go like this, but I am worried that some of the screws I added in might be in the way. So let's have a quick look. Hey, it does work. Now, where are the holes? Okay, so that's in. That should be good. So I'll just screw in here nice and tight, and then I can make some new holes on the other side accordingly, depending what I need. Okay, so that went in basically with brute force. It's not what I wanted to do, but it works. It's not also very straight onto this. My guess is one of these has been put back, one of these guides has been put back slightly off canter, off center, and of course that doesn't line up at all. So we're gonna have to brute force it again. I'm gonna pop out the drill. This is insane. Add some grease onto it. We're in. Now we can do the bench back. So let's see. That's one. And yes, adding grease definitely helps. These go in much, much smoother. Ooh, this is tight. Let's hope the holes line up. They should. And these, in theory, go back on, but I've just realised that they have a little hole in. So I should have put them on earlier, because now I have to take off the top one of these, top screw, and put them back in. That's okay. And the hole lines up. Perfect. Okay, and that, at least, what's nice about that is that that is not coming out, because that is caught on the screw. Okay, so final pieces are coming together.
This is you, Daddy.
Yeah, this is me on the video.
Yeah?
Are we putting in the last screw?
Yeah?
Actually, it's the third to last. There we go, Jen, we're done.
Now I have to talk with the microphone. Yeah, I like it. I like it, but... Oh! Je pense que le buret est très bien, dis donc, parce que papa l'a très bien fait. C'est mon père qui a parlé tout à l'heure. Et maman,
Elle a aidé?
elle n'a pas aidé parce que elle était à la sieste.
Well, here we are, guys. The desk is now finished and I'm really, really pleased with how it turned out. The wood is gorgeous. The color on the inside really adds something that I wasn't expecting. There's some class to it, which I find delightful. As you can see, I've added some small felt pads to avoid clanking of the lid whenever you close it, so that hopefully will avoid a lot of excess noise and stress for us. And I've also added in some small brass chains on the inside to hold the lid open properly so that the kids can go ahead and open up their desks without the lid basically flopping around on the outside, on the other side of the desk, on the front of the desk, and putting undue pressure on the hinge, which isn't necessarily the most robust part of the desk. But overall, it turned out great. I'm really pleased and I can't wait to see how this desk is going to age with my kids. And yeah, I'm really excited to be able to see them use it on a day-to-day basis. If you've enjoyed this video and enjoy my content, my channel, go ahead and check out my Patreon page, which is linked down there in the description of this video. That will really, really help me out. Thanks a ton for being here, guys. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed, hopefully you've learned something, and hopefully I'll see you very soon for some more crafting.